is FCN Frontline Report with Brenda Hines.
Hello everyone, I'm Brenda Hines and this is FCN's Frontline Report for January 1994, brought to you by Ford Education and Training. In our top story today, the automotive industry just closed the books on the 1993 calendar year, and it's time to sort out the numbers. Most experts agree the year's big winner is Ford. The division and its dealers closed out the year with a string of major victories. They had America's #1 selling vehicle in the F-Series. Taurus was again the #1 selling car, and the division won both the car and truck sales titles, along with a host of other awards. We'll have the details of the wins in just a minute, but first a look at what happened to the industry as a whole. With total car and truck sales of 14,195,000 sales, the industry was up more than 8% from the 13 million sold in 1992. Unlike last year, the numbers were up for both car and truck sales. Car sales rose an estimated 4% to more than 8,500,000. Meanwhile, truck sales set a new all-time record of 5,679,000. That's a 16% increase over 1992. Ford division truck sales also set a new record. The division sold 1,659,195 trucks, outselling #2 Chevrolet by more than 337,400 trucks. That's almost 60,000 more than a year ago. It marked the largest margin of victory by any division in history. Ford has now been the truck industry leader for 8 consecutive years. F-Series was once again the best-selling truck and best-selling vehicle in America, topping the Chevrolet CK pickup by more than 20,700 sales. It was a surprisingly large margin in what was expected to be a much closer race. While most of the attention was fixed on the battle of the full-size pickups, the Ford Ranger also set a new sales record, with sales topping the 340,000 mark. That made it the best-selling compact pickup in history. In all, Ford had 3 of the top 5 best-selling trucks in America for 1993. The list included the F-Series as #1, the CK 2nd, the Ranger 3rd, the Ford Explorer 4th, and the Dodge Caravan moved into the 5th spot. On the car side, Ford also led the way, taking 2 places out of the top 5. For the second year in a row, the Ford Taurus was America's best-selling car, beating out the Honda Accord by more than 30,000 sales. Those 2 vehicles were followed by the Toyota Camry, the Chevrolet Cavalier, and the Ford Escort. Looking at the industry as a whole, the big win in market share belonged to the American manufacturers. The big 3 now hold more than 64% of the car market, up almost 2% over the 1992 figures. And they hold 86.2% of the truck market, up from 85.6% in 1992. In combined car and truck sales, Ford is again the #1 selling division, topping Chevrolet by a record 580,000 sales. Toyota and Dodge ranked 3rd and 4th, with Lincoln Mercury moving up into the 5th spot. And finally, in the annual derby for the 10 best-selling vehicle lines in America. While most nameplates were holdovers from 1992, there was some shuffling around in terms of position. The top 3 sellers remained the same: the Ford F-Series, Chevrolet CK, and Ford Taurus. However, the Ford Ranger jumped all the way from 7th to 4th place in 1993. Honda Accord fell from 4th to 5th, and the Ford Explorer took 6th place, followed by the Toyota Camry. Rounding out the top 10, the Chevrolet Cavalier moved into the #8 slot, the Ford Escort was #9, and the Dodge Caravan fell to #10. In all, Ford division again claimed 5 of the top 10 best sellers. Chevrolet had 2, while Dodge, Honda, and Toyota had 1 apiece. Our last big story for 1993 has to be the introduction of the all-new Ford Mustang. The car was an instant hit with the public. And shortly after introduction, Motor Trend magazine put its seal of approval on the new design by presenting it with the magazine's prestigious 1994 Car of the Year award. Here's FCN's John Fawson with that story.
The Mustang was selected by the Motor Trend staff over all other domestic cars and trucks on sale by January 1st.
There's a great compromise of handling and comfort and ride. It's so much better made than the old car, and it's right up to the state of the art as far as build quality.
So it means a great deal to us. It helps the publicity, the notoriety, the prestige of the car, and they should have picked Mustang. So we're very happy they did.
Winning the Car of the Year honor is particularly satisfying for John Coletti, the first 1994 Mustang team member.
I never told management, but in the back of my mind, unless we got Car of the Year, I would never have been satisfied. This really is great for me.
Winning this Motor Trend Award is a definite plus for the Mustang, but the real test will be winning over the buying public. So far, so good.
The reaction of the dealers has been phenomenal. Everywhere we've shown the car has just been unbelievable.
A good example of customer reaction is these women who spotted the new pony car parked outside the restaurant where the Motor Trend event was held.
Now, this is neat, Mary Ellen. I think that you should, this is your style, huh?
Yeah, certainly. I think the color's good.
This is lovely.
In addition to the Motor Trend Award, Road and Track magazine put out a special edition devoted entirely to the new Mustang. But Mustang wasn't the only Ford to pick up an award last month. For the second straight year, the Probe GT was named one of the country's 10 best cars by Car and Driver magazine. Frontline was also at that award ceremony.
The car is fast, it's fun to drive, it's good looking, and it's a terrific value. It exemplifies the type of car we're looking for at Car and Driver because we're basically car enthusiasts.
It speaks very highly of the Ford Motor Company, of our engineering and of our quality and what everybody within the company is trying to get done. And for this car to win, it's probably the toughest segment of the industry to win in because there's always so much change.
Car and Driver magazine added the Probe to its list after evaluating nearly 50 cars and trucks. Incidentally, the Probe GT was the 1993 Motor Trend Car of the Year award winner. Well, no sooner had the new Mustang gone on sale when Ford turned its attention to its next new product launch. This time, it's the new entry-level Aspire, scheduled for introduction in February. Automotive journalists, however, got a sneak preview of the Aspire at a special press briefing in Las Vegas, Nevada, and at Ford's Arizona Proving Ground. FCN's Lauren Sides has that story.
Ford is hoping to score another big hit with the all-new 1994 Aspire. The Aspire is debuting before automotive journalists right now, and this kickoff takes us from Las Vegas to the Arizona Proving Ground. All the canned glitter does in Las Vegas, yet among all the head-turning attractions, the Ford Aspire is what these journalists came to see, and finally, to drive. It's the Aspire launch, where the public, through these reporters, gets its first look at Ford's new subcompact.
I think that this launch is very, very important. It gives a chance for the car to speak to the journalists. It's time now for the car to really show what it's capable of.
Key members of the Ford team briefed reporters on the Aspire, noting its small price and big value. After the briefing, it was time for the Aspire to speak for itself. The test, a road trip, 120 miles through the desert to Ford's Arizona Proving Ground.
It probably feels better than some compact and even some intermediates of 5 years ago. It's an amazing little car.
At the Arizona Proving Ground, the reporters put the Aspire to different kinds of tests. There was handling and steering and comparisons to the competition.
I was impressed. I really was. This is not the kind of car I usually get excited about. But I also like the colors, and I think color has a lot to do with sales in this market. You know, go, oh, that's a cute car, and that's going to sell it.
Good press also will help sales. If these reporters like the Aspire, the car gets off to a good start. And in a region where Lady Luck rules, Ford is feeling lucky.
We're feeling very lucky with this car. The weather is good, the luck is with us, and we feel very good about launching Aspire here in Las Vegas.
The company will find out if luck and a lot of hard work pays off when the Aspire goes on sale to the public in February. At the Arizona Proving Ground, I'm Lauren Sides, reporting for FCN News.
This month, Ford also began a series of competitive ride and drive activities for Ford dealership personnel in selected markets across the country. The special program is designed to familiarize sales consultants with both the Aspire and its primary competitors, the Geo Metro and the Toyota Tercel. We'll take a closer look at how that battle of entry-level vehicles shapes up in next month's Frontline Report. The public introduction of Aspire is scheduled for February 24th. And while all this is going on, Ford is gearing up for yet another major new vehicle introduction for the Windstar. The company's Oakville assembly plant in Canada has undergone extensive retooling for the production of the new front-wheel drive minivan. Recently, Canadian and American journalists were invited to tour the facility. FCN's Jim Hartford was there.
At the plant, the writers learned how the company is launching no-adjust build techniques and a paint process that will be best in class.
This is a quantum leap from the way we built cars before. The customer is going to be very happy, I think, with this vehicle because he's going to see consistency. We've seen that in our builds already.
Then it was Windstar's turn to impress as the group left the expressways and headed for the Caledon Hills north of Toronto.
It's best in class in a number of areas compared to the tough competition. I think it's best in class in interior noise levels, very, very low.
I guess the one thing that's particularly impressive about it is the NVH, or the lack thereof. The rolling feel is extremely good.
The ride is definitely the best of just about anything in the minivan class that I've been in.
Windstar will be taking on some tough competition when it goes on sale March 24th. But judging from the reaction of some of North America's top auto journalists, things may not be so grand for the caravans of Chrysler. In the Caledon Hills, north of Toronto, I'm Jim Hartford for FCN News.
Job 1 for the new Windstar minivan is scheduled for the end of this month. The vehicle will go on sale in late March. In our final story today, Frontline takes a look at a major automotive product priority for the 1990s. The subject is safety, and as FCN's Lauren Sides reports, it appears to be part of a lifestyle trend that encompasses more than just automotive products.
Safety is one of the strongest themes surrounding the Ford and Lincoln Mercury 1994 model lineup. From the interior, with driver and passenger side airbags and enhanced safety belts, to the exterior with side impact occupant protection components, Ford is offering more and more standard and optional safety features. One reason? Safety sells.
It's a part of the overall worldwide trend toward health. People seem to be more conscious of diet and exercise and health in general these days, and I think the need for safety and security in their automobiles is just another part of that trend.
Women consider safety a top priority when purchasing a vehicle, especially women with children. And as women become recognized as a more powerful consumer group, automakers will respond to their demand for a safer vehicle.
It seems to be ranked higher by women in purchase decisions, and women are accounting now for nearly half the purchases of new vehicles themselves.
Through regulation, government also plays a big role in determining safety trends for the auto industry.
The government has an agenda for improved safety through regulation for the next several years that will take us into the next century.
Currently, the government and automakers are working on future safety features such as interior head impact padding and side impact occupant protection systems, which are now being phased into vehicles. And Ford will continue responding to consumer demand for safety with world-class timing and affordable prices. I'm Lauren Sides reporting for FCN News.
Ford's newest models, the Mustang, Aspire, and Windstar, all provide safety features like standard dual airbags and the availability of anti-lock brakes. Complete information on all the safety features available on Ford products can be found in the June 1993 issue of Frontline magazine. And if you want to refer back to other helpful Frontline articles, Ford Education and Training has prepared a handy index which cross-references the stories by subject matter and date of issue. The index was included in the 1994 training materials sent to your dealership recently. Finally, this program note. Early this month, the 78th annual Detroit North American International Auto Show opened its doors. This is the 6th year it has been an international event. The show featured hundreds of new products and concept vehicles from the major manufacturers around the world. Over 40 cars and trucks made their worldwide or North American debut. For a look at what Ford and some of the other companies put on display, please stay tuned for a special Frontline close-up report that immediately follows this program. And that's it for this edition of Frontline. I'm Brenda Hines, reminding you that FCN Frontline Report is a joint effort of the Ford Communications Network and Ford Education and Training. Thanks for joining us, and stick around for our special report.
Welcome back. I'm Lauren Sides. Today we'd like to share with you some of the highlights from the International Auto Show in Detroit. We begin with John Fawson.
The new minivan is the Ford Windstar, which will be available in dealer showrooms March 24th. The front-wheel drive Windstar is built on the Taurus Sable platform. It's longer and wider than the Chrysler minivans and represents the most serious high-volume threat to Chrysler, which owns about 50% of the minivan market.
It's got more interior roominess. It's got more safety features. We think it's got the latest in technology in all the different aspects of the car.
You get into total dynamics of the vehicle, it is the most superior in its class on the road in terms of driving, handling, and NVH.
Yes.
And quality and quietness.
The new Windstar drew a flock of journalists, as well as some admiring executives of other automakers.
I must admit quite a few of the attendees were from the Chrysler Corporation. If their concern is any indication of the value of the van, we're going to do really well with it.
The new Ford Aspire also made its world debut. The Aspire is a significant improvement over the Festiva, which it replaces in the Ford lineup for 1994.
Aspire offers an improved interior package in terms of spaciousness and comfort. In fact, it's the best in its segment.
We think it's very big on safety, it's very friendly to the environment, and we feel that it'll be the best value in the American automobile industry.
At a price of $8,240, the Aspire is the lowest priced vehicle on the market that offers dual airbags and optional anti-lock brakes.
And that's not all. Ford Division has a lot more to talk about as 1994 gets underway.
The Ford lineup is strengthened for 1994 with the recent addition of the all-new Mustang. The award-winning pony car is entering its first full year of production. Along with the 94 models on display are three new Ford concept vehicles. The F-Series based Power Stroke, equipped with a 7.3-liter direct injection diesel engine. The Profile, derived from the European Ford Mondeo and powered by a 250 horsepower supercharged V6. And the Ranger C-Splash, which emphasizes the compact truck's fun and versatility.
There are many new competitive vehicles on display here at the Detroit Show, so we asked Ford Auto Show analyst Jerry Conover to talk about the significant new cars and trucks. He started with Chrysler's new subcompact car, the Neon.
Said they were going to do a car the size of our Mondeo at the price of our Escort. Well, the package number sure confirmed the Mondeo claim, and they're coming in with a manufacturer's suggested retail price of $89.75, so they're on the price point.
Chrysler also has two new compact cars, the Cirrus and the Stratus.
Cirrus and Stratus are their JA sedans we're really expecting in the 1995 model year. Both cars have really interesting styling. Anyone who comes down to the show and takes a look, for example, at the Stratus, it looks like a Mark 8 in the front. Again, with the same platform team that did the L8 sedans. Chrysler's come out with a couple of really new, very interesting cars, planning to take on the Japanese mid-sized cars, but at a price point some $3,000 to $4,000 under them. Total program investment, they claim, is $900 million. We don't know how they did it. The cars look great.
Moving on to Chevy, the Lumina has been redesigned.
Lumina and the two-door Lumina is now called Monte Carlo. We've been waiting for these for quite a while. Unfortunately, the cars are kind of disappointing. Not a whole lot new with them. They look like they're going to continue the rather bland Lumina image.
The Mazda Millennia.
Millennia, this is the third version of their ZX car. It's called the Zetos 9 in Europe and the Unos 800 in Japan. They're rolling it out here. One of the most interesting aspects of the new car is its optional engine. It's called a Miller cycle engine that uses a blower and some intake valve timing tricks to get the power of an engine 1 liter larger than the one that's in it. It's a very small engine, very efficient. We're looking for this car to do some interesting things as well.
Moving on to trucks, the GMC Jimmy is new.
The Jimmy, of course, is the replacement utility. It comes in 2- and 4-door versions, and it's based on the S10 platform. We haven't had a chance to drive it yet. The styling is very reminiscent of the previous vehicle.
Although we were surprised that GMC's indicated a new marketing approach. They're going to institute a first-time truck buyers program to try to attract car people into their utility. Truck looks real nice on the floor.
Another new, quote-unquote, sport utility is the Honda Passport. Not really new, though, is it?
Well, Honda Passport's got a lot of legs on it. It's really an Isuzu Rodeo with a Honda badge and grille. The Rodeo itself's about 3 years old, and General Motors sells it in Europe under the Opel name.
Again, what you've just seen are some of the highlights from the auto show in Detroit. We have a lot more information we'll be sharing with you in upcoming Frontline programs. So keep tuning in, and thanks for joining us.